Record. All right, so we're recording. Okay. And so of course, module 1 again, can you still see it, Mackenzie?
Yep.
Okay. So Eagle Gate Cafe, the same as usual. And then we have this week 1, we have 1 discussion question. Now these, so a module 1 assignment, the journal project progress, these are almost the same as the other 2 assignments in week 3 and in week 6. And so the only difference that you'll notice between these are at the very end, your mentor, which is your, your preceptor at your organization, and then your signature, and then the date. And these are due every week. And so these are just what we're trying to do, and is just keep you intact every week by having you talk about your project and your proposal, just so at the very, very end, it doesn't all come due at one time. And so fill this in to the best of your ability, and then have your mentor sign it. And so back on module 1, then you've got your module 1 assignment, plan for meeting course outcomes. This is the exact form that you saw last semester. It's just, I went through and just kind of cleaned it up and titled it differently. And so here it is again. Make sure that you have your goals listed under here. Go ahead and list as many goals as you want, and then your learning objectives, and then your, just like we did last time.
Okay.
And then a written explanation down here. Make sure that you write that. Make sure you fill this out completely, and then sign it and date it. So
will this be the same one, like we fill in box like learning objectives, goals, and learning resources, strategies the first time, and then second is evidence, and then the last one's kind of finishing up the last boxes? Okay.
Yep. Yeah, it's just like it's almost the same form. Well, it is the same form in 530.
Okay. Easy enough.
Yeah. So you guys are used to that. You're used to journaling. The one thing you'll notice different here, module 3, they've titled it differently, meeting with mentor and faculty. And so, the previous weeks 1 and 2, you're just meeting with your mentor and talking through your plan to make sure you're on track. Now this one here, it's exactly the same. I'm assuming you can see this.
Yep.
It's exactly the same. The only difference would be my signature on this one. Okay, so it's the only difference, but you're going to be doing this every single week just to make sure you're keeping up on everything. So it's redundant, but it has to be there just so you
check our boxes and keep going.
Yeah, because if you out of sight, out of mind, and then week 7 comes and you're like, oh my gosh, I haven't really spent a lot of time on my main paper, because this is your final bringing it all together, and this is your deliverable upon graduation. And so this needs to be just really, really perfect. And so there's a lot of writing this semester. There's only 45 hours of practicum time, but you can use those practicum hours to do your writing of your scholarly project. I know, you and Lori both have started on it last semester, and you probably have a lot of it done. And so this semester, we're just bringing it all together and making sure that you're writing it up. And so, of course, there's less hours needed for practicum because you started quite a bit last semester. Yeah.
Okay.
So if we go back to modules, and then week 4, you've got your journal progress again. Then you've got your plan for meeting course outcomes again. And now this is your first one. This is your first log. Right here, your first practicum log, I believe it is. Yep. And so just go ahead and document your hours. You only need 45, but it's exactly the same. as you did last time. You should have, knowing that you're into week 4 and you need 45 hours, you should have
20 some odd.
Yeah, I would think.
Okay.
I would think.
So
yeah.
we have one more probably, let's see. Oh, week 7. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So 4 and 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, there's things that are due every week, but I think if you keep up on it, I think it's very, very doable. Like these journal project progress reports, just make sure that you have your mentor sign off on it every week, just to make sure you're keeping up on your project. Again, week 6 is where I sign it. And then week 7's a big week because you've got your capstone project due, and it's 295 points. And so this is, yeah, it is. And so I sent you and Lori both a copy of my DNP. Did you get that? I sent it within Canvas.
I remember seeing it, and you sent it in did you send it in an email or in the last class? Okay, that's what I thought.
Sent it in an email. So I have it pulled up and I can send it to you again. I don't know if
I have it right here.
Okay. I mean, it's quite lengthy, and this is an actual, you know, I went through IRB and I used participants. Now you are not going to do that. So yours won't be this detailed, but if, you know, here's an example of an abstract of what it looks like. And then here's an example of table of contents of what that looks like. And so if we go to page 9, which is the chapter review, here is what your literature review should look like, because I know you and Lori both had a problem with your literature review. And this is huge because it's specifically on this project, you need at least 15 resources. Okay. And so what you're going to do is you're going to capture each of those 15 resources. And what you do is you just do an introduction again to your, I don't know why that keeps coming up. You do an introduction to your, oh, for goodness sake.
You're good.
I don't know why it keeps popping up, but here's an introduction again to your project. And then you don't have to do a historical overview. And then you do your current findings, but then you organize your articles in way of themes. So one theme that came up on mine were caring, and then all the articles that talk about caring, you talk about under caring. And then the next theme that emerged was nursing education. And so all my articles that talked about nursing education, I summarized here. And then the next theme would be affective learning domain. And then I captured all of them under this title. And then at the end, I just summarized. So I think, how long is my lit review?
Yeah, I was just going through that on my end too.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 7 pages is dedicated to your literature review. And knowing that you're going to have 15 resources, it's probably half of, 7 pages of a lit review, which is probably pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see how many resources I had. I mean, I have quite a few, of course. I have way more than 15, but just use mine as an example to kind of help guide you, because the lit review was the part that each of you needed to beef up on. And I know that you can do it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and so, you're going to have your project title, you're going to have your title page, and then an abstract, 200 to 300 words. And an abstract usually is written at the end, when you're all done with your paper. Students try to write their abstract first, but you don't have everything that you need for your, the anticipated results, conclusions you'll draw from your work. You may not know that yet. So, usually I tell students to leave the abstract until the end.
Okay.
Okay, so don't try to write that. Yeah, don't try to write it up front, because you're not capturing, the abstract is what is, you know, like when you look at a research article, you're going to read the abstract to see if it's even remotely close to what you want to read, or if it's even remotely close to what you're researching. And it's pretty much a summary of that article. And that can only be done at the end of the article when you've written everything.
Okay.
Okay. And then you've got your problem statement, and then you've got your review of literature, which is going to be the largest part of your project. I can tell you that.
Okay.
And then you're going to talk about your design or methodology, including the steps. What did you do? How and where you did it? Who was involved? Who were your participants? How you analyzed your results? What did you learn? And then it's asking for a chart form, a detailed timeline of each task and when it was completed, which shouldn't be a problem at all, you know. And then a description of the final product or products. And then what is the format of the outcome of this work? And then your reference list. And so if you do everything in that order, and there's no set page number because it's completely up to your project, but knowing that you're going to have at least 6 or 7 pages dedicated to a lit review, you're probably going to be maybe 12 to 15 pages.
Okay.
You know, which I think is
that's kind of what I was expecting too, was like in between 12 to 20 or so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to take some time to write this, and it's going to be,
oh yeah,
when you're done, you're going to be like, I am never going to write another paper again.
Another paper.
And you know, for a while you won't have to until you go back to get your doctorate.
Yeah, no kidding, huh?
Yeah. And so this is huge, because this is what the university wants to see. And it needs to be in perfect format. And so anytime along the way, sorry, I was coughing. Anytime along the way, if you need to send me currently what you're working on and let me look at it, even though there's no place to submit it, just send it to me in an email and let me look at it, because I don't want to, you know, come down to grading of this and saying, oh my gosh, we're missing this and this, because it really doesn't give us enough time to revamp it. And so I would ask both you and Lori to, as you start writing this, maybe once a week, send me an email with this attached, just to make sure you're on the right page, and then I can send you feedback on formatting, or if we need more detail here, something like that, because this is a work in progress. And so usually when students are doing some type of capstone, their mentor, which would be me, I mean, it's different because they're associating me as your faculty, but I would be the one that would look it over and guide you and provide feedback for you. And I don't want to wait until week 7 to do that. And so I would ask both you and Lori, maybe, and pick a day. Let's say maybe every Sunday you send me what you currently have done and let me look at it and provide you feedback. I'll send that back to you, and then you can continue working on your project.
Yeah, and that's a cool idea. I think that's helpful.
So you take one part and, you know, your introduction, and send that to me, and then we tweak it out and I give you feedback and you perfect it, and then you put that away, and then you start working on your second part of your paper. You send that to me, we work it out, we give you feedback, you perfect it, you put that away, and then you send me, you know, then by that time you're going to be on your lit review. And so I would hope maybe by, I'm thinking week 4 or week 5, you should have a pretty good lit review going that we could start looking at and giving you feedback, to where when you get to week 7, all you have to do is submit it, because you've had the feedback throughout the whole semester.
Yeah. Okay.
And I know that the way the course was set up, it doesn't allow for that, but I'm asking of that for you and Lori, that I would, I want to be able to guide you. And so I would ask every week to send me something and give me a couple days to look at it and provide feedback. And then that way you're not writing in the dark, that you're progressing the way that you should be progressing.
Yeah. I like that idea too, instead of just going at it blindly all semester long and then getting it graded and going, oh crap.
Yeah, because I don't want to, I mean, you guys need guidance along the way. And the way this course is set up, it doesn't really offer that, but I want to do it that way. And so just send me what you currently have done every week to my email, and then I'll download it, and then I'll go ahead and put my feedback on it, and then I'll go ahead and send it back.
Okay.
And then once we get to week 7, you should be ready to go, and maybe just be putting your abstract together. And then when we get to week 8, which is always a short week, what is being required, is you just take your information from your paper and you make a presentation. And so I also had to do that. And so I can also send you my presentation so you can see what my overall paper looked like, and then what I added, how I made my presentation. Because I believe when we work with Rachel, who is the online dean, she wants you guys to be able to present this to faculty. Now, I don't know when that'll be, because of course this isn't due until week 8. So that's something that we're going to have to look at. If we've only got Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to present this. And so we're going to have to make an impromptu meeting, but you'll know way ahead of time. I'm talking to Rachel about it already, about when she would like you guys to present. And maybe you'll just present it on Wednesday of your last day of class. But and I'll guide you on who you're going to be presenting to, and there shouldn't be any question. I mean, there might be some questions asked by faculty or whoever's listening in, but you'll be able to answer those questions. It's not going to be part of your, are you going to pass or fail? That has nothing to do with it. It's just presenting it for the first time.
Well.
Okay. And so they're saying 10 to 15 slides. You can have more than that. Make sure you have speaker notes, because those mainly are for you when you're presenting. Introduce your topic, provide an overview, summarize the rationale. Here's your problem statement, your methodology, your chart form. So it gives you specifics on what to copy and paste into a PowerPoint presentation. Is really all you have to do.
Okay, which is pretty easy if you've done the paper.
Yeah.
So cool. Okay.
And so I will send, within Canvas, I will send my PowerPoint presentation as well. And so you've got my main paper, and then you'll have my PowerPoint presentation, so you guys can start working on it right away.
Okay, perfect.
So I think those were the 2 main things. You've got your preceptor still, you've got 45 hours. I don't know if you want to try to get those done at the very, very beginning, and then the rest of the time work on your project writing. Completely up to you. And you can take credit for those hours in your practicum log as well.
Okay.
Cool. So I think that was it. Week 7 is a big week, but every week, if you send me whatever you've got done, I don't care if it's 2 sentences, just send it to me so I can at least give you feedback. And I remember when I was writing my DNP, I told myself I have to do 2 sentences a day. Otherwise, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to make it on time. But knowing that once you sit down and start typing, you're always going to do more than 2 sentences a day. But
Yeah.
That way it made me really dive in and not wait till the last minute.
Okay.
So if you can bite off a chunk at a time so you don't get overwhelmed, that really will help too.
Yeah, definitely do that instead of save it for the very end.
I want to see if I can find my I don't know what it's listed under. No. I want to try and find my
your PowerPoint.
Yeah. I know it was back in 2015. Oh, there it is. So, you want to be able to captivate your audience. If technology is not your friend, don't add a lot of technology because it might. You're not there to show your technology. And so if it's questionable, I wouldn't add it just because you don't want to cause yourself more anxiety. Okay. And so we had capstone committee members, which you will not have. But then here's the introduction. So my introduction was 1 slide long. Of course, I talked a little bit more because my speaker notes, so you know how to do presentations. You don't put everything on a presentation. You want to be able to talk about it. So these were the main things that was in my introduction. And then here's my problem statement. And I believe yours is going to be a research question, same thing. And then here I added a little bit of background. Here's my purpose. Here's my question. My theoretical framework. And so you guys will have a methodology or a framework that that will help guide your paper. And then here's my literature highlights. 3 themes emerged: the caring, nursing education, and affective learning domain. Those were because you're going to want to bring out the themes and what are the themes that you gleaned from your research. Okay. And so my lit review slide is not very long, but I'm continually talking about those 3 themes that emerged, and so you make your own speaker notes according to whatever you want to say about each area. Okay. So even though you've got 15 resources, you don't have to talk about each one. You're going to talk about the themes that emerged and why they are important to your project. Okay. Okay. My design, of course, you're not going to have you're either going to be probably a qualitative or quantitative. If you were to completely, if you were to implement your project and actually do it, are you looking more at a qualitative aspect or a quantitative aspect on your design? Okay. Okay. Of course, I had to use an instrument, and then my this is all the IRB, and you guys won't have all that stuff. Recommendations. We had to do limitations, things like that. So my slide is not very long, and then I've got quite a few reference slides. You're going to put all of your references. Okay. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4 reference slides. So I think I had, 25? Yeah, but you're not going to have as much as I had on mine. And so, okay. Yeah. So let me see if I can, share that with you. Share. Let me just do it in the mail here. Okay. Okay, so let me look at M. Bauer, right?
Boyer, yep.
Boyer. LD. Nope. this is, yep. Matey, example of presentation. Oh, for goodness sake, I can't spell.
Okay. Cool.
There you go. So you should get that. So I hope that will help guide you. You don't have to do as in depth, but especially on the lit review, that's the biggest thing is if, you know, you've gathered all your literature, now you're going to read through it and figure out your themes, your main themes. And you guys will probably have 3 or 4, just like I did. And then you're going to organize them according to those themes and talk about them under each of those themes. That'll help guide you.
Okay. Yeah, no, the examples were awesome. That helps a lot.
Okay.
I've been typing, like each thing you've said, I've just kind of been typing in a little note.
Good. Okay. And, you know, we can meet whenever you need. You know, if you're struggling, let's meet. You know, just kind of, you guys are really, really, I'm very confident in both you and Lori. And so I haven't bugged you too much, but go ahead and bug me if you need me, you know. I know that it's going to go by fast. You guys will be done. And then it's like, whoa, Christmas, and you'll be celebrating and yeah. So just know that, you know, we need to start writing now. So when week 7 comes around, all you really have to do is submit it. Can you submit early? Sure you can. But send me parts each week. I mean, it's Sundays, or I mean, whatever day you want to send me something, just send me whatever, and then give me probably 24 hours to give you appropriate feedback. I'll send it back. You implement that feedback, and then we move on to the next area. And then at the end, you're putting it all together.
Okay. Yeah, that works.
All right. And then of course we have to do all these little things.
Right.
But that's okay. I mean, that's all right.
I feel like those little things kind of keep you in the like school.
Yeah. School zone. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, I mean, that's that. And so don't be overwhelmed. If you do a little bit at a time, you will be fine. I know that you're working, you're doing clinical. This is the end all. We'll just
almost there.
I know. Amazing, isn't it? You guys have come a long way.
Yeah, yeah, definitely feels like it.
Yeah, seriously. And what you guys are going to be doing with your advanced degree, it's just amazing. So I'm just very proud of you guys, and I'm very honored to be,
thank you,
you know, in this whole all the trenches with you. And then you know, any feedback at the end of each course, I don't see your feedback because they don't send it to me because there's only 2 students. So they're like, well, there's not enough surveys to send you. Well, I want to know how things are going, you know, but
all good things, I promise. From me, all good things.
Okay. And then, you know, if you're like, this in this class really didn't work all that well, let us know, because you guys are the first ones that have gone through this whole program. And so if you want to see something done differently for your colleagues that are coming behind you, just let me know, and we'll add those edits, and we'll work on it together. But I just I am very honored that I had the 2 students that I did, because it's a learning process for me as well. Transitioning into a new way of doing a course, which is so different than what I came from. So we're all learning together. So
yeah, I think we've all done pretty well coming together and figuring it out.
we have, especially last semester. I was like, oh wow.
Yeah, the beginning of that, I was like, uh-oh, this could be rough, but I think we did pretty good.
But we just worked through it.
Made
it is what it is. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Awesome.
So once the recording is available, then I'll put it into the announcements, and then feel free to listen back on it, and then just let me know when you start your clinicals, your practicum, and then, well, I think you've got some things to do this week already.
Yeah.
And like I said, just send me whatever you may have, and I'll give you feedback, send it back. So when week 7 comes, all you have to do is just submit it.
Okay, perfect.
Okay,
that works
awesome.
for me.
Okay.
Awesome.
And if Lori reaches out, just have her watch the recording.
Okay.
And then I'll reach out to Lori and see if she wants a one-on-one or at all. But just, I'm here for you, and just let me know if you need anything. But don't be overwhelmed. Just take some big, deep breaths.
Okay.
After you write this paper, you will not have to write one for a while unless you go back.
Yay. I will definitely take a break after this one for a while.
Yeah, and you deserve it. You deserve it. But we've got to push strong, and you'll be done by Christmas time. And oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. Thank you very much.
I know. It's a big, big, big step. Holy cow.
Yeah. We'll get there.
All right, Mackenzie. Thank you. And just let me know how you're doing.
Okay, thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay,
Bye.
see you.